Wicked Empire started Rampage, meaning we were getting Will Ospreay, Carl Fletcher, and Jeff Cobb. I'm just going to say this. Given what else Rampage was going to throw out there later, well, I totally love this show. I always have. And if you don't like it, well, stick it up your pipe. That is not the right saying. Also, hello, my friends. My name is Simon Miller. Welcome to Ups and Downs for Rampage. And yes, much like Ring of Honor yesterday, this is the last Rampage Ups and Downs we're going to do, just because we're going to shift over to AEW Collision Ups and Downs, which will go live tomorrow for episode 1. But then from that point onwards, it will go live on a Monday. Just because I wrestle at the weekends, and trying to get it all done, well, it just ain't going to happen. Also, there won't be any editors to edit it. Some people have melted down about this too, but look, I want to say two things, and I kind of just mentioned it. One, I do love Rampage. I think it's a great show. I'm going to keep watching it, and you should do too. And we're only doing this because we want to give you the content that you want to watch. That's all it is. That's why we're bringing back Retro Ups and Downs too. I do this for you, and I shall continue to do that forever. Or at least till I'm dead. Anyway, the New Japan boys were also taking on Trent, Chuck, and Rocky Romero, or Chaos. So surprise, surprise, this was just an absolutely fabulous match. You should definitely go watch it right now. I mean, it was just move, tag, until Will Ospreay got the slap to a massive reaction. He was taking on Rocky Romero. When Rocky dove to the outside, he tried to take out Jeff Cobb, and Jeff was like, no, I'm massive, and he caught him. The reason he wasn't able to do this, though, is because the best friends then did a bunch of other dives. Honestly, I was doing this. Oh, that one's 7.5. Oh, that was good, 9. That was fine, 6.7. Oh, 8.8. Eventually, Will Ospreay got sick of this, and he booted Taylor right in the face. I was like, holy crap, Will Ospreay calming things down? Oh, how far we've come. There was an absolutely brilliant moment too where Chuck was like, I'm gonna slam you, Jeff Cobb. Once again, cough is so big, he's like, no, you're not. When Carl Fletcher and Trent got into it, and my word, I tell you, they're really good wrestlers. I mean, Beretta here even went German suplex crazy. Then du es tun willst, dann tu es. When Fletcher reversed this DDT into a brain buster because he hates thinking. When Jeff arrived and basically deadlifted Trent Beretta, who is a human being, not a weightlifting thing. The best friends wouldn't die, so eventually when they were on the up and up, they did the big triple hug. And I actually stared into the distance and thought, man, maybe one day I can hug them. That made me feel like an absolute loser. When Jeff Cobb, who clearly doesn't like affection, got in there, and not only did he double German suplex the best friends, but he just hurled Rocky Romero out the way. This dude rules. Ospreay then returned, and you already know the deal. He's such a damn good professional wrestler, although he did miss the hidden blade and almost got beaten with the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. That was never going to happen because come on now. When Carl Fletcher did indeed save his friend after a sliced bread, he hit a tombstone. Ospreay did hit the hidden blade, and he got the 1, 2, 3. But I'm just giving this a round of applause. Like I say, 60 minutes of wrestling and you start with this, can't go wrong. When we confirmed that Taya Valkyrie is definitely a heel now. Good. Now we do need to give her a big promo, which we actually did do later, but her point is nice and simple. I beat up Jade Cargill, then Chris Statlander walked in, and she stole my thunder, and she picked the bones, so now I'm a super mad panda. This was great though, because she was facing Trish Adora, who you may recognize from Ring of Honor, and while this wasn't her night, there's a reason AEW picked Trish. It's because she knows what she's doing. In a few weeks, a few months, or even a few years, she is gonna fly, mark my words. Now, Trish was able to thump Valkyrie in the face to begin with, but of course, this was never gonna go her way. And eventually, Taya just got really mad, although she has changed her finishing move, because rather than do the road to Valhalla, she is now doing that face stomp. And seriously, she does it so damn well. When Adora's face went into the mat, I was like, man, I think that must have really hurt. She also hit a spear before this as well, so someone had been totally murked. And yes, later on, Taya was cutting a promo going, man, I'm so mad at Chris Statlander. And in proper unwritten wrestling rules, Chris must have been stood just off camera because she walked in and said, all right, let's fight for this title. And Taya Valkyrie in true heel fashion was like, yeah, maybe, but not right now. So I want to see these two go at it. Chris getting a victory over Taya only helps her title reign. Give it up. We also had an interview with the Hardy Boys, Isaiah Cassidy and Ethan Page, and if you are going to watch this, first time round, just ignore Matt and Jeff, and look what Ethan and Brother Zay are doing in the background. Those two are great. Either way, the whole point is to set up the Hardy Boys versus the Guns, which we are going to do on next week's Dynamite, which makes all the sense in the world, because you have two experienced dudes treating dudes who need experienced. When Jeff said, when this is done, we're going to do what Daddy Ass was never able to do and make you famous. I was like, what does that mean? Maybe he's going to cast them in a Hollywood movie. When? Man, Rampage, I love you so much. Goofy wrestling for life. Now, I know some people are down over this, but for goodness sake, there is so much wrestling on TV. Why can't sometimes we just go out there and have some fun in our tum-tums? Because that's what we did do, as it was Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, and Jay Lethal taking on Mark Briscoe, Daddy Briscoe, and Aubrey Edwards. They had such a good time, so all this energy came out the TV, it hit me in the face, and I was having a good time too. It also has succeeded in exactly what they were trying to do, so kudos for them. When we were told, well, I think this is the first time the Briscoes and Aubrey Edwards have ever teamed up. Honestly, I was on the floor in pain. I was like, yeah, I could have figured that out for myself. Jeff also tagged in there and just wanted to strut around. So once again, I was just creasing up. And when Karen Jarrett tagged in, she was like, let's go, Aubrey. Let's go. As soon as Edwards was in the ring, she's like, nah, I was kidding. She tagged in Jay Lethal instead. Perfect. Lethal then got beaten up by Papa Briscoe and Mark Briscoe, so somebody deserves a medal. When, of course, Sonjay Dutt was casting distraction. That allowed Jeff Jarrett to get back into this, and he took Marky Mark and he threw him into Barry Barricade. What? He also took Briscoe's neck and dropped it over Barry, which means he was trying to kill him because that can crush your windpipe. And why the hell would you do that? Do you think Mr. Barricade wants that on his conscience? Of course he does not. So this was shameful, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Jeff Jarrett. And it's the biggest heel thing you've ever done in your life. Also, bring it down. The counter rose up to 65. 65 times this poor, innocent person has been assaulted. It's disgusting. Now, I did get over this pretty quickly because we went back into the ring, and when Mark did tag his daddy in, Jeff Jarrett looked at Jay Lethal, and Jay Lethal looked at Jeff Jarrett, and neither of them wanted a piece of this guy. Honestly, it's just the best. So Briscoe's like, well, I'm gonna kick your ass anyway. He just nailed them with these clotheslines. Yes. But they were acting like he was Darth Vader when eventually Aubrey Edwards and Karen Jarrett were in there, so they went at it. But then Satnam Singh was on the apron, so Karen got the guitar. Aubrey took that off of her, and then I tell you, given that the referee wasn't watching, Edwards grabbed his do and she hit Jay Lethal with it so hard, I was laughing again. She was definitely trying to kill him. Karen then tried to hit the stroke on Aubrey, so she was like, no, you're not doing that. And she applied the figure four and got the tap out victory. Honestly, give me more of this. Hook it to my veins. Once again, it was just 6 people and everyone on the outside having a good time. And there's so many problems in the world. That's what I want for my professional wrestling or sports entertainment. Utter distraction, which is kind of ironic. I am giving it an up. Goofy wrestling for life. Oh, this is when we did get the Taya promo, but we've already talked about it as we cut to more shenanigans. It's just as Mark Henry was doing his whole "it's time for the main event" skit, Don Callis and Takeshita interrupted him. This is basically so Don could tell us that he has renamed Takeshita to Hio del Don Callis, when he also said he's the brand new powerhouse of wrestling. And Mark Henry reacted to him like he was totally drunk. That was very well done. And then, yeah, it was Takeshita taking on Bandido, and you've got to see this. It was absolutely redonkulous. Takeshita's entrance video also now has him as a centaur, with Don Callis riding him. So they're now my new favorite act in pro wrestling. When these two dudes just went at it, and my word, they're good. Because there was 21 plex attempts, dives. At one point, the masked man was thrown into the crowd, quite literally. When we got back in the ring, he was doing those delayed suplexes. I think I aged about 10 years. Bandido then springboarded, but what happens a lot in modern day pro wrestling, Takeshita avoided this and just whammed him with the knee. And then he took over and just kicked his ass. And I'm sorry, this dude knows how to be a heel. He's got it. I mean, he absolutely murdered him with this lariat when all of a sudden Bandido came back with the best tilt-a-whirl DDT I've ever seen in my life. And when Takeshita stopped another springboard, he hit the least devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the Blue Thunder Bomb. And I know Sami Zayn did his very best to try and rectify that this week, but unfortunately Takeshita has just taken it down again. 1-2 kick out. Takeshita then bit Bandido because he's absolutely an asshole when this thing got out of control. Now I can't do it justice, but what I will tell you is that Bandido went for the 21 plex and Takeshita landed on his feet. So Takeshita went for a German suplex and Bandido went, haha, anything you can do, I can do, and he landed on his feet too. So I was just clapping like an absolute moron going, bravo guys, bravo. And when Takeshita was going for something, all of a sudden Bandido turned that into a code red, where he hit this Hurricane Rana and he spiked Takeshita right on his brain. Now look, it was a great near fall, but I spent the whole time going, oh my gosh, I think he may be dead. It then continued because they just smashed each other with these mad lariats before Takeshita gave him the big knee and gave him what I think we're calling the power knee driver. for the PKD, which is basically like a big shining wizard. He got the 1, 2, 3, but nobody lost here. It was too good. To the point, my words just went all woozly boozly there. I don't know what's happening, but I'm too damn excited. I made another mistake. So seriously, I know I shouldn't compare the two, but it's just how I feel. When you take the main event of SmackDown, which you should watch, ups and downs will be on the screen in a minute, or just go click it in 1 second, and you take the main event of this, it was a terrific night for pro wrestling. I love this stupid sport. It gives me energy, and this is giving it up. Which does indeed bring us to the last ever episode of AEW Rampage, but I tell you this, I'm going to continue to watch this show no matter what we do, because even if it does become a brand new AEW Dark, that is fantastic. Let's make sure we push the young guys and young girls and give them experience on television. I'm very excited for all of this. Giving it up. Also, like I just said, please do click the video that's going to be on the screen, maybe now or in 1 second, for SmackDown Ups and Downs. Support the series, I'd appreciate it. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And yeah, Ups and Downs for Collision tomorrow. We then change everything come Monday. I'm excited, I'm scared, I'm anxious, I'm apprehensive. That's just what life is. But I still love you, and I always will. Goodbye.